Hey, I'm Haley,
And I'm Jesse.
and you're listening to Personality Hire.
The podcast where even if you're not in a good mood, you're going to learn how to fake it today, right here,
Yeah.
right now.
Right here, right now.
Just kidding. I don't know if we're going to give you a tutorial, but at any given moment, we might be feeling some type of way, and we're just going to learn how to feel a different way. Just turn your frown upside down.
Maybe.
That's the only advice.
Yeah. I think you can tell if you're a visual watcher, huh?
Hello?
Hello? If you are watching on YouTube, then you probably notice that I'm wearing an interesting outfit. It's because I said my brain not brain. My brain not brain today.
My brain, not brain.
My brain not brain today. And although I love putting together outfits, guess what? When you think about putting together an outfit when you're sitting down and like also sitting in close proximity and then also matching kind of like your vibe with the person you're with, like it's just too much. So I said, no.
Yeah, and I still think you look comfy, cozy, cute.
Well,
I would
Do you
wear
like
this.
my Fruit of the Loom socks?
Yeah, I do, because
They remind me of like a boy.
I think that it's important to wear brands that are tried and true, like Fruit of the Loom,
Fruit of the Loom?
because too
I
often
got
we're
Fruit of the Loom. What are these? Sweatpants.
What are
are
caught up
those?
in the next big thing.
Yeah.
When we sometimes need to get back to the basics
Back
of
to
Fruit of the Loom,
Yeah, a Fruit of the Loom.
and they're probably 100% cotton, and that's important. It's a breathable fabric.
It is breathable.
It's nice and washable. So I love the whole fit. I'm loving it.
Thanks. I'm,
How are you
Struggling.
outside of your fit?
I am fine.
Stop asking me.
You know what? I'm fine.
Okay, great. Perfect.
You know, sometimes you're just fine.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're lying.
Sometimes
That's okay.
sometimes being fine is like, this is a good day because I'm just feeling fine.
Yeah.
And I get that too. If you're feeling
Those are
fine,
great
it's an
days,
accomplishment.
honestly.
Yeah. When
Mine
you're
is
like, I'm
just like,
fine.
I'm fine. Like, I'm fine.
It's better than going, I'm great. When you say that you're great and you aren't actually great, I can always tell. Like, not you specifically, but if a
Yeah.
person is like, I'm great, I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And that's okay. You should have
Yeah.
just said, I'm fine. And I would have gone,
Because
yeah.
we would have been said, we would have said
same.
an awesome time. But we would have said like, yeah, same. Like, most people. It's relatable. Also, I had this acting coach when I first, actually it wasn't when I first moved to Atlanta. I'd been here for a little bit. But if you're an actor and you're listening and you knew me at this time, then if you know what this acting teacher was like. This acting coach kind of gave like unhinged takes and unhinged advice. But one of her better pieces of advice, which is actually unhinged, but also I think in a good way. Sometimes being unhinged.
Sometimes
is
you
good.
just need to be slapped in the face
Yeah.
with a bit of unhinged advice.
Yeah. I was about to say like not like what's going on.
Oh,
New York.
No, not like that kind
Everybody's
of
getting
slapping
punched.
or punching in the noodle. Quick PSA, if
Yeah.
you live in New York, wear a helmet. Don't leave
Gird
your
your
house
loins.
without a helmet.
Mostly your forehead. It's
If
like
you were-
always these women, and it's only women.
Yeah. If you're a woman,
Of course, though. By the way, like of course.
find a helmet, strap it on, and just dukes up at all times.
Yeah.
If you're a woman in New York
Jab
City.
cross.
Yeah,
Jab
thank you.
cross. Always keep your guard up.
Hands
Literally.
over your head.
Hands
and
in front of
face.
your face.
Yep.
Guard your fotch.
Yeah.
Anywho, she would say, if someone asks you, how are you? Be honest. Like tell them. And I was like, there are good times to do this and bad times. Grocery store, for example. If I'm checking out and they go, how are you? I'm not going to say, you know what? Actually, my family just called and I got some bad health diagnosis news. And you don't need to trauma unload?
Trying to dump.
Trauma dump. There we go. Trauma dump on everyone you see. Because probably maybe something is going on. But you could say, I'm okay. How are you doing? Or you could say, I'm okay. And then say, I'm really digging the sunshine right now. Like just change the subject. Just change it.
Let's spare the Target.
Cashier.
Let's just spare them. Let's spare
And
them.
also probably are spared because I know you're going to self-checkout there.
Oh my gosh, no, because I got in self-checkout line at Target last week and I always bebop through there. I have no qualms about scanning my own stuff.
Oh no,
I
because
got in
everything
line, and
requires
the woman, there was no line. There was no line. There were 10 lanes, 10 self-checkout lanes. There was no line. And the woman comes up to me, and I'm about to push my buggy alone into the self-checkout. And she said, 10 items or less. And I said,
since when?
Wait. And I looked around and I said, but there's no one behind me. There's no one in front of me. She said,
she had
10
it out
items
for
or less.
you.
And she said, she literally pointed at this woman across the store and said, what was her name? I don't remember if she said, she'll take you. Sasha will take you over there. And I was all alone when she made me beep, 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 get my cart, back it up out of the self-checkout and go right over to Sasha. And I was like, Sasha, what's the deal? And she's like, yeah, it's a new policy. So anyway,
Well, it's good for me to know that now.
just heed that warning. If you have over 10 things, they're not going to let you swipe them yourself anymore. That was unnecessary.
So
I didn't
hope
even say that
means
at all.
that now they're going to be hiring more employees to work the checkout lanes. I'm fine with that. I actually would rather have human interaction, to be honest, because I want people to have jobs. And I also get so mad when I look up at the filming in progress video and everybody looks
Unwell.
yeah,
Absolutely
and I'm
unwell.
like, I didn't need that, especially when I'm about to spend my hard-earned money
I
here.
snap a picture of myself in that from time to time because I'm like, that is so humbling. And and also like I show them to people because I'm like, look what I looked like on this day. And I went out in public, and in my mind, I was like not even thinking much of it. But when I looked at myself at the filming in progress, don't steal this thing screen, I looked unwell. Every
No, it's
time.
bad. It's bad. You look like the crypt keeper.
Something doesn't, yeah.
Every
something's, like,
time.
slightly off. And
Like
maybe
I
it's-
could put the most adorable baby.
Yeah.
I could put a baby and I could be like, and the baby would like look like the filter with the old man face.
something's slightly off. Yeah.
They do it to you because they go, look at you, little ugly, trying
Yeah.
to steal.
Trying to steal.
You little ugly. Don't you dare steal.
I'm just trying to take a peek at what I look like. Sorry.
Also, if there's any kind of video ever, I'm going to look up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, this is breaking news. Jessie has no idea what I'm about to say. But I just realized, and you might have seen this if you're watching online, but like I keep looking up to the corner. There's a new leak in my roof, which there shouldn't because this is a brand new roof. And also I live in a condo. So I pay a very, 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 very times 12 high HOA. Do you see those books over there? Yeah. Yeshi? They're damaged. I hope I have no important books up there.
Yeah,
I don't think I do on that one.
I see that, and I think that
It's because I have a fireplace.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get that checked out.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need to get that looked at.
I'm gonna need to have some words.
This is a real time discovery, and I'm
It's
sorry about
happening
it.
now because I've never had that brown spot there, that water stain.
Yeah.
And you know what's weird?
Wait, were those books not damaged prior to this?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
That's brand new.
Okay.
Also, this is something that's so weird. But yesterday, it was yesterday. That was raining a lot. My intuition has been on it. And I told you about like, I've had some friends have some life events happen and I knew that they were happening before they told me, like twice within 2 weeks. Yesterday I said, man, it's raining hard. And I like, cause I heard the rain hit the window I was nannying at the house I was at. And I was like, man, remember that one time when I had that horrible leak and my condo association did not believe me? They were like, we checked, there's no leak. And I was like, funny because I literally had pots and pans out here. And it was like the year I moved in. And it was also the year that we got a new roof. So they were like, no, it's a brand new roof. You're crazy. And I was like, well, explain this.
Yeah, that's a leak. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that we had to discover that in real time right now.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is cool when you're part of a team.
You know, it's just me against the HOA.
Yeah, against the world, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm sick of this. If you're listening and you are an old man and you want companionship,
There's going to be a number that pops up in the bottom of the screen. If you could just text
it will not be romantic. You can pretend in your own mind that it's romantic.
text your resume or email or fax it. Actually, if you're an old maid, could you fax your resume
Yeah.
and your credentials to this number? And then we're going to go through everything and then we'll figure it out. We'll see if there's somebody that might be a good fit for a financial assistant here
Yeah.
at Personality.
I will go to dinner with you. No touching.
Oh.
No
Okay.
touching.
Okay, but just dinner.
Yeah, we'll go to dinner.
Okay, great.
We can talk about your
I feel like-
grandchildren. I love kids.
Great. This is perfect. I think we can end here.
I'm also
Thank you.
kidding because I'm so scared. Don't ever, because this is going on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So you do. That was comedy. That was comedy.
That was,
It's-
that was a joke, a live
yeah,
one. We
it
got
was
a live one.
joke. We got a live one.
Yeah, we
Whoa.
do.
Anyway,
Today, we are speaking of dinners and jokes. Today, we are actually going to be discussing party etiquette. And we're going to be discussing what it means to be a good party guest, maybe a good party host, the different types of etiquette for the different types of situations that you're in a party, having a socializing time. And that's what we're going to chat about today. The first thing that I thought about when we were talking about party etiquette was the Irish goodbye and how it's just like, I feel like we can just start there because this is like when you're already at the party, the only time.
it's what I would do right now in my state of being.
Got it. Okay. You would Irish goodbye me. I would just
No,
actually.
not at your house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean,
well,
if I was at a big gathering, I might, but I would tell the host. But that's
that
just
was
me.
That was what I was going to say.
I would always
think
tell the host.
I'm
and I
fine
would
with
thank them for having
an
me.
Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
And an Irish goodbye is when you leave, you literally evaporate. Like you go into the atmosphere and everyone says, "Where did Haley go?"
Homer
She
Simpson
was
into the
just
bushes.
here. And then, because you already gone, you called your Uber in the bathroom and you snuck
You
snuck
said,
on
I'll
out
be
of
right
there.
back when you were in a conversation.
But I
you
think,
meant right back like the next time I see you.
sure, in a year and a half.
Yeah.
But I think it's fine to Irish goodbye. But you must tell two people, in my opinion, the host and be like, "Hey, I got to get out of here." And then second, anyone you came with. Like if you
for
came with
sure.
someone, even if you weren't leaving with them,
Yeah.
if you came with someone, you have to say to them, "Hey, I'm about to boogie. I got to get out of here."
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't Irish goodbye on someone that you came with. Like I think
No.
that's wrong.
That's rude. And that's become really popular, which I think it's fine not to say goodbye to like every individual
Everyone.
person.
Yeah.
But it is simply rude. And I think a lot of people are like, I got anxious. You know what? We all have anxiety, but you were invited to this party and all you have to say is, I'm going to go.
Can you
No one's going to
imagine-
hold on to you and say, wait, why? Why are you leaving? Don't go.
Well, some people
No.
might actually do that to you. but
Okay, they do, but then you go and you walk.
Can you imagine?
You're an
though,
adult.
if you're at a party and
If
there
you're
was
not
one-
an adult, you shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
There was one person who made it all about them and they went to every individual at the party and they're like, "I'm leaving. It was so nice to meet you, but I've got to go. It was so nice to meet you. I'm actually leaving." Like 50 people in a room and you got that one guy that's going to say a personal goodbye to everybody. They would think you were a psychopath.
No, yeah, that's crazy.
They would say,
I've never seen that.
but I'm saying like, that's a good way to make something about you.
Yeah.
You know, I guess if you really feel like you need to make the party about you.
No.
What would be the opposite of an Irish goodbye? Or what did you call someone that said goodbye to every single person?
An
An American.
Yeah, I was going to say an American.
An American woman, maybe. I don't know.
I was going to say like
An American millennial. I'm just kidding. We all have crippling anxiety. They would never do that.
No, I feel like they wouldn't. But it would be something like, I don't know.
American Psycho.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
that's
That's a good
what
one.
it is.
Okay, there we go. I needed to make peace with leaving that little section.
But
And I'm glad you closed it out. But
that
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, that's just like my little. I think Irish goodbying is fine as long as you say goodbye to the host and
Yeah.
the person you came with.
I think for sure.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, so I was always raised this way. And I know this is like a Southern thing. I was raised in the Midwest. And I think it doesn't matter what it is, but you don't show up to a party when someone's hosting you empty-handed. Especially if you are expecting to go and like eat and drink and be merry, unless they tell you otherwise, unless they're like, hey, please don't bring anything. Bring anything, a candle. If they say, hey, we got food covered, we have drinks covered, like maybe if it's if it's an engagement party or something, but if this is at someone's home and they're inviting
A
you
dinner
into
party
your home,
or
yes.
just like a little cocktail thing.
Yes. I think it is so interesting how many people, and I see this in people who are my age, they don't do that. And then like, I don't know, when I was with my ex, we would host a lot of things, and I'm not expecting you to bring anything really, but like the amount of people who would continuously come over and then just like eat and drink everything and never bring anything. One time someone brought Chipotle for themselves and ate in a corner, and they're like, oh yeah, no, like eating. And I was like, and then going in the fridge and getting like, you know, sparkling waters or beer or wine, like whatever. And there's been times like at my ex's house, there was a bar, and we kept the bar stocked because he used to be a bartender, and like we liked doing that when we had people over and hosting. And I do that here, but like people would go to the bar and start making their own drinks and stuff. And I was like, and you're not even going to bring a measly Trader Joe's candle?
Yeah, I think that it also is really interesting because I think it is an age thing too, and I think that you have to be in a financial place to understand that
a Trader Joe's $2.99 candle.
But there are ways that you can do it, and I always say that like there's really good ways to have like small little hostess gifts or host gifts. Like you can go to Dollar Tree, for instance, and grab a dish towel and wrap that dish towel up on a bottle of wine, buy several dish towels, have them, and bring that to the host.
So cute.
Or like you can keep yourself stocked with a little host
again,
gift.
Trader Joe's, very cheap wine.
Yeah.
Very good cheap wine.
Yeah.
So it's just like the thoughtfulness behind it.
Totally, yeah.
Because I know if you're bringing your $13 Chipotle, that you can bring a $10 bottle of wine.
It's the acknowledgement of it was a big deal for you to have me over. You prepared for this, and I am appreciative of it, and I recognize it. And here you go. I brought a token. I brought a little token, a little something. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a really good like. It also I think is a really great way to make friends if you're going to somebody's house for the first time. If you show up and you got a little something with you, like you're gonna be friends for life. You're gonna buy their love. Just buy it. It's fine. Give them a hostess gift and buy their love.
I also like. I love making people happy. So like when I find a candle at like TJ Maxx I really like, I will buy all of the candles that are that candle scent, and then I will bring them to people when I go to their house for the first time or whatever, and then they'll start buying that candle, and then I'll see it and I'll be like, hey, the blank candle, and they're like, yeah, I actually like went through yours and I bought my own, and like now I'm like buying all the, you know.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
To bring that for someone.
Yeah.
Also, like, low key, like, is someone. No, I'm not saying that out loud.
Okay. Inside thought.
Yeah, inside thought.
Just an inside thought.
I was going to say, I'll say it out loud, but just know that I disagree with myself immensely. But I was like, your favorite hand soap. You don't have to do that. That's kind of like personal. Hand soap's personal.
Yeah, it is really personal. The scent, some people would rather die than wash their hands with like a black currant soap. Personally, I like that.
Yeah.
But somebody else would be like, why do you want your hand to smell like a black currant? I want it to smell like cleanliness. I want it to smell like dial.
Antibacterial. Yeah.
I want it to smell like I killed the germs. So I do think that is a personal thing. It's very personal.
Yeah.
I think too, we were talking about like the different types of party etiquette and how they differ versus like the party you're actually going to and the type of people that are going to be there. I also think that when it comes to like birthday parties, when you get to be an adult, it's a little bit different when you go to a birthday party about bringing a gift, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think that can be a little bit different. But if you come to a birthday party, you have to like, if someone invited you to their birthday party and they invited just you and we're adults,
okay.
And yes or no, are you going to bring a date with you to this party if they didn't specify that dates could be there? Because I've seen an uptick of people bringing their dates to places where the dates are not invited. No. And when it comes to birthday parties, oftentimes we invited you because you are invited and we only have a limited amount of spots. Yeah. You can't bring Billy Bob Thornton with you.
I'm sorry.
You can't bring Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. They can't. I mean, they could. But in my scenario, they could. But you can't bring your boyfriend or your person.
And also, if you like thought that you guys like for some reason you really felt passionate about bringing your plus one, text that person. Say, hey, is it okay if I bring blank? But also, if it's at a restaurant or something, because that's usually like where adults have their like birthday dinners or whatever. Probably not. There's a reservation number and you were invited. So they made the reservation for you, but not. And like, I don't know how close you guys are, but like, I just think I agree with that fully. I think that's rude. I also think when you're going to someone's house and you just assume that you can bring someone else. Me and a friend were talking about this the other day the other week, because we were going to an Oscars party and she's like, I feel kind of bad, but like I already invited another friend to go and now this other friend wants to bring her husband. And there was nothing wrong with this. And I was like, and like in this specific situation, I knew it was going to be okay. It wasn't my party. And I was like, I know it's going to be okay, but like, I know this is uncomfortable, but you need to ask. You can't just bring. And she was like, yeah. And it ended up being fine. They could bring them. But like in a normal situation, that's usually very uncomfortable.
Sometimes people, when you get to a certain point in a relationship, they just assume that like we're a package deal. We come together, we're a pair. And it oftentimes isn't that easy. If both y'all's names aren't on the invitation, same with like wedding stuff. Like if both of your names are not on the wedding invitation, if it just says just Sally Joe Snarfer and it doesn't say +1, Sally Joe, Mr. Snarfer has to stay at home, and that's just how it is. And I know it's gonna be okay. It's a bitter pill to swallow for a lot of people though, but that's how it is. And you just got to kind of like not assume, do not make an assumption that because you are a pair that the whole package deal is invited places.
Yeah,
it ain't like that sometimes.
I fully agree with that. I think that can be a very sticky situation. And also, I think it's okay to go places without your significant other. Sometimes
it's preferable.
Because how are you going to have friends if your only friend is your significant other?
You're not. You're really not.
Nor, because then people are going to start taking up on that and they're going to say, oh, this bloke really is attached at the hip. I guess they're not really my friend because they can't just be around me. They have to bring their significant other.
Yeah, it starts to feel like they have to have a buffer in every situation, every social situation. Their significant other is the buffer. And I totally hear where you're coming from, where sometimes it feels like, oh, you need a buffer to be with me. Like we don't have a connection anymore to where you can chat with me alone, or we don't have enough in common. You got to bring Snarfer.
Yeah. I especially think this like when it's girls with girls, like it's like, I don't know. I was just never like that before, so I don't understand it. Like I would go do things with my girlfriends and I would never expect that like my ex had to go with me.
Yeah.
And it's not always that like,
I will
it's not
say
the vibe, you know?
My exception to that, where I do know that I'm guilty outside of inviting a significant other, I am super guilty of when I'm doing something with a girlfriend or with a good friend. If I see an opportunity to invite more friends, I oftentimes will. And I could see how that might be interpreted to the original person as me like needing to invite people in the buffer. But really in my brain, I just get so excited about like being out, you know?
Yeah. I don't think that's...
So I'm like, no, come with us. We're all going to have the best time. I'm going to make sure of it.
No, I think that's different.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think that's different. I think in that situation, it's like girls' time.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I mean about like it already being girls' time. And then you saying, oh, but also I'm going to bring my like boyfriend. And then you're like, okay, well, have fun. Like at this dinner with all women.
I want to rename girls' time to hammer time. So every time I text you and I'm like, let's have some hammer time, that means I just want to hang out. I want us to invite everyone we know, all the girlies. Stop hammer time. That's what I want to do. Is that okay?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
I think it could be like, you know,
let's just have some hammer time. But you know, that's why I like it. Stop. Hammer time. Tonight, 8 p.m. And you know where to meet me.
Yeppa. So when's Yeppa going to sponsor us?
They're not. And that's okay. Do you know why? Because
he knows we're going to show up anyway.
I was going to say, they don't need to. They
know.
They already know.
Yeah. I also think that the inviting thing can get just a little, like, I think it's very obvious who has hosted something and who hasn't when those things start to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you clearly don't know how this works.
I don't know. When we were in, I'm trying to think of like college parties, it's so funny because when you take that kind of like leap from being a college adult to being a
Actual
real
adult.
world adult, the whole party hosting and the party etiquette, like that is a big old jump of like where
Oh
the
my gosh.
potty
Potty
etiquette is
etiquette.
deal. Okay, that's a big jump. Especially, I think that what I've seen a lot of times is hard for people that have graduated college moving into the wheel world is the alcohol consumption at certain events and certain parties, how
Oh
it needs
my
to just
gosh,
be
yeah.
just reeled back just a little bit, just a
Take it on in.
scotch, just a
Yeah.
scotch, you know,
a
like
scotch.
sometimes you have to leave a party coherent, where in college you didn't.
Yeah.
Most parties you didn't have to be coherent to do anything.
Yeah.
But when you exit that environment, it's leaves something to be desired, you know, like when you leave and you're still in a coherent state.
Yeah.
But I have seen that, and that's something that's a little bit of a party etiquette thing that I would urge, you know,
Yeah.
just get a slight grip, not a full grip. Who
Yeah.
am I to judge?
Who can really get a grip? But you can try.
Yeah.
You can try.
And there's already so many. Oh, here's a great question for you, Haley Grace. How do you feel about, we celebrate more shit than I feel like anyone celebrates at any other time in history.
Mm-hmm.
We have celebrations and parties for everything. Like we have parties for, you know, engagements, bachelorettes, everything in between. Gender reveal parties, I think, are a little bit of an interesting, outside of our personal experience with them, but like gender reveal parties. I've seen now a lot of moms, I've seen a lot of influencer moms do half birthdays for their kids. Just any time to make any excuse to make a party. I feel like I've seen it emerging.
Yeah.
So like, how do you feel that? Like, where do you land on the spectrum of parties? Are you like, no, we should celebrate everything?
I think we should celebrate everything. However, there are limits to which they need to be celebrated. Sometimes I see some of these birthday parties on like it's like an Instagram thing, or it's like a TikTok influencer, or like I notice it, like this is the thing that comes to my mind. Vanderpump Rules, like the people who have had kids on that show, their birthday parties have merch. They have, like, it's just too much. When does the line, like, where's the line? And then also, why have we crossed it every time? And why are you spending as much as that I think I'll probably spend on my wedding on your child's third birthday party that, I'm so sorry, they're not going to remember that birthday party. They'll look at the pictures and be like, but they're not going to remember. And who's it for at that point? Because I understand, like, you can do the most simple thing with a child and they're going to have a blast. As long as there's cake, pals, and a little bit of fun, they're going to be good.
Yeah. I think I'm conflicted on that just specifically because
No, yeah,
a lot of the times too, those birthday parties very obviously are for the parents as well. And
Yeah.
if you have the funds, if you have the means, if it's within your financial comfortability to do so, and it means something to you as the parent, and it still has aspects that are appealing to kids, like you're still doing things like, I don't know, like you're gonna make a big ass bouncy house, a petting zoo, all those things. I see where it can.
I think
be
that like
something-
sounds normal though. I'm saying like,
No, I'm saying like let's say it's extravagant. It's like crazy balloons. There's merch. You've got performers. You've got everything you could ever want. It's catered. All that, you know, whatever. Over the moon. If it's something that's within their means and it gives the parents a sense of pride to do it, and it also gives the family a reason to get together.
That's
I
a good
do
idea.
see that there, you know, if I could do some of those things, I'm like, yeah, I might do it for a milestone birthday for my kid. I might do it for 3
milestone.
years old. Well, I mean, we went
every like year though with a child is a milestone, I think.
Well, you're speaking of like third birthday. I went absolutely over the top for the third birthday. Absolutely over the top. And will she know about it specifically in her memory? No. But was it really meaningful to us?
I
and
feel like
see
that
her
was
in the
like
situation?
not over the top though.
Oh, it was super. Oh, it was very over the top. It was like it was really over the top. But I had to shave for it. But I feel like I think I see both sides of that coin really, really well. If you're doing it as a power play, and what I mean by that is if you're doing it to keep up with the Joneses, or if you're doing it to show off your wealth in some sort of way, or show off what you can afford to do, that grosses me out. And you're using your kid as a pawn in that really grosses me out. So I see both sides of the coin to that. And And I also think that birthday parties too can be a little bit like political now when the kids are younger, because
Yeah.
you've got to like, you in my opinion, like my kid's having a birthday soon, and I invited her entire class, and I know some people don't believe in that. Some people, they pick and they choose who they're going to invite.
I think you
and
should definitely invite everybody, because they're all going to hear about it.
they are going to hear
when they're
about
that
it.
young.
But you know, that's some people are like, no, so-and-so, they don't play with them. So why am I going to invite them to the birthday party? It's
But
very
kids,
to
when they're
each
that young, they don't know.
They don't. But it's a
I
very
think
to each their own
that's
situation when it comes to kids' birthdays. And at the end of the day, it has everything to do with what the parents want to do.
Yeah.
And so that also is just, it's like weird territory, man.
It is. I mean, I don't understand, because I don't have kids, so I don't know. Also, my favorite birthday party growing up was when we did like a tent sleepover. And I know like sleepovers are extinct at this point, but back then we had sleepovers.
Yeah.
Actually, not that often, to be honest. Like with certain friends, I did, but not like with random people. But we had a tent sleepover in my backyard. My dad got this huge tent. Like, I remember thinking, like, this is a mansion tent. Like, if there's a tent that is a mansion, it's this tent.
One. And my dad got it.
Yeah, and my dad got it.
Thanks, great.
And he did, the whole birthday party was a scavenger hunt. So I don't know how
that's
long.
So sweet.
Yes, it is the coolest birthday party ever. And my dad, because he's for his job, he used tape recorders. I don't think they do that anymore, because they don't, that's more of a back in the day thing before your phones had, recording devices
Voice
on them.
memos.
Yeah, voice memos. But he would leave himself voice memos when he was like, doing his job. Anyway, he did that, but he did that in a weird voice, and he like led us on a scavenger hunt. So we'd like get to the next place, and there'd be another little tape, and we'd put the little other tape in, and we'd listen.
So
and he'd do a
cute.
different voice, and then it'd leave us to another clue, and then the clue led to my basement. We turned on the lights, and I want to say it was hundreds, and I know it wasn't hundreds, but my dad blew up all these aliens. Because he made it sound like it was an alien invasion. And then the whole basement had like disco lights and the aliens. And we had a dance party in the basement.
That is also such a great 90s like reference, because I remember those blow up aliens.
Yes.
Like, I remember what they looked like.
Like at the skating rinks and stuff. You could like win them with tokens.
Oh my gosh.
So,
that is like
isn't that the coolest?
so cool. And the fact too, it's funny because the effort that your dad made to do that is arguably more effort than these parents are putting on for these extravagant parties, because
that's what I'm saying.
They're planning them, but they are having outside vendors actually make them come to life. So that is so special. That makes me want to cry, because
it's so special. I think about it all the time. I'm like, how can we top my wedding? I mean, how can we top that? Like, how can my wedding top that?
I don't know.
One day. It will never be my alien invasion sleepover party.
No, it won't.
With a mansion tent in the backyard.
It'll just be a man invading your personal space from that day forward.
Yeah,
that's going to be a tough one.
Sounds like that's not going to happen, but
that's so sweet.
Isn't that the coolest?
So sweet. Yes,
but
it's
the
like
coolest. Not, it's not. I remember like some of my friends would have parties at Club Libby Lou, and those would be very expensive parties and so cool. But like, my party was so special because my dad put it together for us, and everyone, like, we still talk about it. Like, when I see those people, which I don't talk to any of them anymore really, but when I like go home and if I run into them, they're like, remember your alien invasion birthday party? I'm like,
you're like,
I sure do.
I
think about it all the time.
Like, my dad invented what are these little Hellcats are doing for their birthday parties. My dad invented that. That is so sweet. Now, kid birthday parties are wild. The one thing I will say etiquette wise is my personal etiquette is, and I'm not blanketing this for all parents, but personally, I think that you need to invite every kid that's in their current class. Mm-hmm. That is like no ifs, ands, or buts. I personally love every family and kid in my kids' class right now. So like, they're all invited. They would be regardless, because I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And then I also think that there's this weird thing that comes with siblings.
Oh my gosh, this is what I was just going to ask you.
And for me, last year and this year, the sibling thing is, I also am so fond of a lot of the siblings in my daughter's current class at school. However, the kind of party that she wanted, the one we decided on this year, way less extravagant, still, still an activity because
It's gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna be a blast, but I ain't having these kids in my house. Like, no, thank you. I'm sorry, but there's too many children to have in my house.
Ever do that to themselves?
These people that we go to their beautiful homes and they're so laid back about having all these kids in their homes, and I have a blast every time because it's so fun because we are in their house. My anxiety could never. They all seem so laid back with it. But so for this one and for last year, I could not do siblings because it is a strict cap, like a kid cap on how many can come, and it's just enough with her class and with her cousins and things like that, and her little besties, that I can't have the siblings come. So I have felt like womp womp about that every year, but everyone's been way understanding, like super understanding about it.
Yeah, I think that's good. And I also think you're putting yourself in a position because it's not open at a house. Like, you know, the event last year was a number thing, and this year it's a number thing. Like, you can't.
It is. It's yeah.
But I think it's very. I mean, I kind of like, now I'm like, I want to ask my friend Lauren this. She has 2 kids, and I'm going to be like, what do you do in that situation? Because I think she just finds a way to have the one child go, if that's the case.
Yeah, I think.
But also, they're so young still that they're just now getting into birthday party.
I think a lot of it is a divide and conquer thing, where where like one parent or one grandparent or one caregiver, one babysitter, whatever, goes with the kid, and the other stays with the other person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. The other thing about party etiquette for kids, and then I'll be done, is please don't give my kid a goodie bag. I think there's a difference between one token of, like, last year I did 1 sticker book for a kid.
Yeah.
Please don't give my kid a full bag of trash. Please don't
also
give her.
They're gonna put in their mouth.
Don't give her any more noisemakers. There's always a damn whistle in there. Stop it.
Stop giving
with
kids
the whistles.
Stop. I you know, as a child, I don't remember a whistle that I had, and I didn't miss out.
No more whistles.
No more whistles.
That's the only other thing. Let's like scale it back. Maybe just one little goodie, one little.
What about bubbles?
Thanks for coming. Boobles are always welcome at my house.
Bubbles are good.
Oh, for sure.
I would say that's
so. That's that. Good. But I also think too, you know, other goodie bag situations, like going back to kind of like the over the top thing that doesn't have to do with kids, are things like bachelorette parties, or anything to do surrounding a wedding. I think, and I'm guilty of this because my friends spoiled me absolute rotten and took me to Vegas for a huge surprise for my bachelorette party. So I can't, like, not one to talk, but they're just getting crazy. The bachelorette stuff.
It's crazy. I feel like I've been lucky in that people have been very accommodating to everyone a part of it, but it's also like, it's just, I don't know. Also, I've been in so many weddings.
Mm-hmm. How many? Count them out.
I don't even know if I can do that. I think I've forgotten some of the ones I've been in. At least. I know there's more than that. Hold on. I'm like forgetting people for sure.
I think I'm at about 6. I think 6 or 7.
Oh. I think that's where I'm about at too.
Yeah.
And I just think, while I love being in weddings, actually it's fun. Some of it. And I think also as the sheen has worn off a little bit because I've been in so many, and also because it's like, I'm tired. It has been many years where, and this is my fault, I totally recognize this, but my money is being saved up for weddings every year. Mm-hmm. Not my own, other people's weddings. And so that's tough, but also you love these people and you want to celebrate them. I think it's crazy when people are going on these insane bachelorette parties and then being like, wait, why can't you come? Like,
yeah,
you know, that hasn't happened to me ever. So I'm not talking about personal experience there. I do think I would love to reel in the amount of parties that we have for events like that. I think it's a lot.
I think the expectation on the bridesmaids now and what they're supposed to be doing financially and also planning and the bandwidth wise for bridesmaids for the bride to be is too much. It's too much. Yeah. And the expectation that they need to pay for it, plan it, invite all the things. It's too much. And I think that it needs to be more of the responsibility of the family. Hot take, but that is what I think, of the family to plan some of these things and relieve these bridesmaids, because oftentimes these people are younger, they're newer in their career, they don't have the time or the means or whatever that is to make it happen in a way that the bride has built up in her head that she thinks should happen. And so that needs to, I think, fall back a little bit more on the family. And I do think that the expectation, it's up to these bridesmaids to speak up for themselves and say, here's what I can do. I got to level set with you. Let me set my expectations and your expectations. Here's what I can do. And I think that having that conversation is so important, especially if you're on the fence about being a bridesmaid. I've been on the fence about being a bridesmaid twice, and I had very serious conversations with the bride about being like, here's what I know I can do. Is that going to be enough for you? Yeah. And they were totally cool about it, thankfully. And like it was, but it's a big commitment to be a bridesmaid. It's a huge commitment. Yeah, it really is.
It's a year-long like party planning thing.
Yes. For sure.
And then you have like your life happening too. And I want to be very careful when I'm talking about this, because I don't want any of my friends to feel like that I'm not excited for them or like want to celebrate them, because that's not it at all. I think what it is that we expect people to, like, when I talk to guys about like what they do as groomsmen, y'all don't do anything. Y'all plan no parties. You might have one guy who helps plan a bachelor party, but to be honest, usually the groom is like pretty active in that. From what I've seen, I could be fully wrong on that, but like guys don't have to do engagement parties, couple shower. Like, okay, I also think this is a hot take. This is a hot take, and I'm going to say it on the internet. Engagement party, couple shower. Bridal shower? No. Pick a lane. Engagement party, couple shower. Okay, if you want to do those. Or engagement party, bridal shower. But you're not having the same person and plan all those.
Wait, so it's a thing now to do an engagement party, a couple's shower, and a bridal shower. So 3 different things that are celebrating. Okay.
Yes, and
that are gift giving options is what I'm saying.
I think engagement parties, sometimes you don't do gifts for those. I've never gone to an engagement party where they're doing gifts, because it's like right when you get engaged, kind of. So it's like before you've even registered. But
I've done a lot too where it's more like a stock the bar type of vibe for an engagement party.
So that could be a theme, or that could be like for a couple shower. Like I've been to couple showers that are so cute that it's a stock the bar theme. So you go on their registry and you find things that are like that, or you can bring them a bottle of something and that's what you gift to them. But when you're going to all of that, plus bridal showers, plus like, it's just a lot. The bachelorette, plus like the wedding, because you have to think about these people are paying for their travel for these events, or their like time off that they have to take if they're in the wedding party. They're probably gonna get you something. I also think that like it should be like it. I don't know what the etiquette is on this, but if you're in someone's wedding, that's your gift to them, because I think so.
I fully think so. I think that I know for a fact that I pissed off one bride who I was a bridesmaid in, because I just assumed that was kind of the vibe, and I did not give a proper gift. I had at the engagement party, I had at the showers, but I didn't give like a proper gift at the wedding.
What? So you gave gifts at all those things and you were a bridesmaid?
Yeah, but I didn't give like a wedding gift like at the wedding, and I know for a fact that one of the brides that I was in the wedding was like, "What's up with that?" And I was like,
"They asked you?"
Uh-huh.
Okay, so are you guys friends today?
If I saw this person
so
out in a boot, I would be friendly to them. But am I in friendly contact with them
just
on
checking.
No,
just checking.
No, I'm not.
Just checking.
But I also, there's something else I want to clarify. I hear you and I think are making really valid points about the number of celebrations around weddings. When it comes your time, I'm going to be doing all of that and more, because I want to. And so I just want you to buckle up.
We don't even have time. We don't have time. I don't have time. You don't have time. We don't have time.
I got all the time.
Also,
I
like,
got time.
I'm not like, I feel like you lose the excitement because there's too many things.
Sometimes, here's what I say. Sometimes, I think I said this to you last year on your birthday. Your wedding is not all about you. It's also about some of the people that want to plan things for you. That's a joke. It is all about you. That's a joke. But I'm saying it makes me so excited when I think about, I love to plan parties and things like that for other people. I love it. It makes me so excited to think about celebrating a person. Like, I absolutely love it. And so when things like that happen for people that I genuinely want to have all the parties for, I feel differently. So that's what I'm saying. I'm a flip-flopper. Do I think that what I just said is true in a lot of circumstances? Yes. But does it apply to like everyone? It doesn't apply to you.
Well,
you can just skip right over that. Keep going.
I was just going to say that.
Just jump.
Maybe I'm a
statement.
bad person then, because it's not that I don't want to do all these things, but like, if you're having the same people help plan them, I think that's where the problem lies.
Let's divvy up the tasks.
Yeah.
Let's divide and conquer.
Yeah. And
you're going to take this and I'm going to take that.
Yeah. And I've heard of weddings where there's people that have to do the engagement party, the bridal shower, the couple shower. Then there's a groomsman, like, there's all these things. And like, I think like, it's just a lot. And also, if you're a bridesmaid, you should be at most of those events, which is hard. And like, I'm a maid of honor right now, and there is a party in New Orleans in a few weeks that I'm going to. And the bride was like, oh no, like, I get it. It's kind of last minute, because the invitations, like, they were having trouble, what is going on with our mail system? Because this happened when I helped plan the engagement party. That was like the first time in forever that I sent out actual like physical invites in so long. And so like, to see how many actually made it to their destination and at a timely manner was insane.
Yeah.
Because I noticed, because at the rate I was getting RSVPs, it'd be like 2 weeks later, someone in Atlanta, where I live, I would get several RSVPs on one day, and I was like, did you just get it? Like, if they were my friend, I'd be like, did you just get it? And they're like, yeah.
Like, I sent that full score in 7 years
ago. I was like,
ago.
I literally could have dropped it off at your house.
Yeah.
But okay. So that's weird. But anyway, she was like, like, oh no, you don't have to come. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure I should be there as a maid of honor, right? Like, I should be at everything I have capability of being at.
Yeah, I think within reason. I have, again, just going back to like another wedding I was in, like, I was a maid of honor and I couldn't make it to like 2 or 3 things because of all the different showers they had in different states and different places, and I couldn't go. I just couldn't go, and I didn't have the means at the time, and I just couldn't go. And she was totally cool with it for sure. But yeah, I think that if you can be at it, yes, but what does it mean I can be at it? Like, excuse me, Kermit the Frog here.
It's fine. I've yawned twice.
If I can be at it,
we need
like,
a yawn count.
What does that mean? Like, are you going to be stressing yourself out about it? I don't know. But
well, luckily there are other people going, and I did look at flights, and I was like, I can't do that and a place to stay. Luckily, I have some friends who are also going down for it.
Hitch a ride.
I'm literally going to drive down there on Friday. The party's Saturday. We're going to drive back up on Sunday.
Buggy.
And I'm staying with like the family when I'm there. So like, it's financially I can do it, and that's why I'm going.
Yeah, you're
too.
gonna stay with Princess
But
Tiana.
Also, yes.
Yeah. I
was about to start singing.
but also,
her song.
New Orleans is always a good time. So I would.
Yeah.
I'm also like, if you need an excuse to go to New Orleans,
I mean, it's gonna be quick.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like,
yeah.
So,
well, I don't know if we've solved the world's problems about party etiquette today. I do know that this was fun to hear hot takes from you about parties. I think that we, I personally
invite me to your alien invasion party.
And I do love a party, and I love to plan a party. I'm not the best at it.
I don't love it.
I have a lot of people that are way better at it and have better visions for parties, but I love playing a party. I love playing a celebration.
You know what? That's not true. I do like it.
You do. I know you
I
do.
do.
I was gonna
I
say
said that.
I don't know if that's true.
I think when I when I plan large scale things, like when I think about people planning weddings, I'm like, God bless you. Like, it makes me want to like never get married ever, or like have a wedding when the time comes that I get married, I might want to elope because I don't want to plan a
Solid
wedding.
choice. Solid choice. Always a
Solid.
solid choice. Well, you can elope, but please just like give me like maybe a heads up. Maybe I can like run down to the courthouse. Just think about that.
No, if I elope, I'm going to do it fun. Like, I'm not going to the
perfect.
courthouse.
Okay, cool. We're gonna.
No, I'm still going to have fun. I'm not going to miss out on like a cool wedding experience, but
It might be.
I just don't want to plan it.
I hear that.
And I fear that it's going to be me. It's gonna be me.
Bye.
Also, I would like for you guys to RSVP to our YouTube.
Oh,
I'd like you to RSVP to our Spotify and our Apple Podcasts. I'd like you to gift us by downloading them and sharing with a friend. We are allowing you to invite other people to this party. So you get a plus actually 87 billion.
yeah.
So go ahead and
we're-
invite 87 billion of your closest pals.
Yeah, and you'll find on our registry that we are asking you to rate, review, and subscribe on our registry. So if you
Yeah.
could do that as well, that would be amazing. And yeah, I think we'll probably wrap it up there, and we'll see y'all next Thursday.
See ya. Janine, take us home, sis. Ah.